Mulan is out on Disney Plus and is directed by Nico Caro. If I remembered and pronounced her name correctly, I'm sorry. If I mispronounced it, I'm terrible with names, as I said before in many videos. And like the original animated film, the movie follows Mulan pretending to be a man going out to war after her father isn't able to go, and he has to go because he's a man. No woman is allowed. So for that reason, as I said, she pretends to be a man, goes out to the army, and fights for her city and her family. Now, where to begin? Let's do a little recap. I, in the beginning, thought that these live-action remakes were actually going to be good again from Disney. Before we had Alice in Wonderland, and it wasn't such a good start. But then The Jungle Book came out, which I thought was very fantastic. Pete's Dragon was actually a better film than its original. Beauty and the Beast was fine for me, and Cinderella was actually pretty good. I had to watch that movie again, but I do remember enjoying it and thinking that it is faithful to that original film. But there was a time when I thought that the remakes are actually pretty solid. But lately, with Aladdin, Dumbo, and once again Alice in Wonderland back, Maleficent, and most recently The Lion King, these remakes are actually starting to become what I thought they would be when Alice in Wonderland first came out. And Mulan was the nail in the coffin. And the fact that this movie is also different just makes it even more sad. They're obviously going for a more realistic tone, more realistic version. They took away Mushu and the cricket. They took away the songs, and they try to make this film like dark. And I really think that also took a lot of the fun that original film also had. The characters here feel stale, like really stale. And Mulan as a character in this one, I really think they really dropped the ball with the characterization here. Because of a certain plot point, I won't spoil it, there's like some sort of artifact or something that they use. You know what? I'm just gonna. This is this. I don't know how to explain this movie. It felt like two different movies, and the fact that this is such a simple story, and so much is going through my head is like, this wasn't really worth $30, and also the action, they used a lot of high frame rates, and it made the action look sloppy because there is a lot of slow motion during those high frame rated action scenes, and it just never felt interesting. Yeah, there were wide shots, but there's also a bunch of quick cuts jumping everywhere, and it just looked so bad. And the movie cost $200 million. How could you fail at these action scenes? And some of the special effects also look really weird. It reminded me of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where the backgrounds and everything look too fake, too fluid. And the special effects just made this film look ugly. When there are actual real sets and real actors and real locations, it actually looks good. The set design and the costume design and some of the acting did fine, but it's everything else surrounding this technical stuff that just dragged this film down. And the ADR with some of these characters is horrendous. I mean, just put subtitles yeah, this is an English American made film, but since you're taking this story internationally into another country, just have these people speak their language. It's okay to have subtitles. I mean, as Chris Stuckman said, Parasite won Best Picture, but also Parasite made a lot of money, even in the US. I mean, surely we are fine with Mulan in speaking their own language, and we're okay with subtitles, right? No, apparently not. And that is such... That actually gets me mad how a lot of movies these days do not let these people language and think that we're too dumb to see subtitles. I mean, it's fine. But with that little rant out of the way, what I really hate about this movie is the way it decides to tell its story, the different approach it decides to do. I'm fine with it being a darker take. I mean, there are many stories of Mulan that they could pull off from, and they did try to make a different movie, but like they make all the wrong choices, and they added a few characters here to take place for others, and they don't have that same impact as those characters from that original movie had. They never have something that can make them stand out. They never had a piece of characterization, and whatever they did had, you could pull it off from another kind of film. And I just felt bored because there's a lot of predictable stuff going around in this film, and it just wasn't interesting. It wasn't worth $30. Mulan was the final nail in the coffin for me. It is actually kind of a mess of a movie, which is probably why it was hard to explain a little bit in the beginning of this video. So for that reason, I'm going to give Mulan a C-. Not as bad as The Lion King in my opinion, but considering the quality of these Disney live action remakes, and considering how this is being dropped on Disney Plus instead of theaters, I think this is the final nail in the coffin. I don't think I have any more interest in these remakes anymore. Even now that Disney tried to do something different with one of their movies, they failed to actually make it a good movie. And yeah, that's disappointing. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.